Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am your host Deja B. I want to say thank you to my new subscribers and those that have been watching. Like always, I will be sharing some scary and creepy stories, fictional and non-fictional. And I will post new content 2 to 3 times a week. So, with all that said, sit back, relax, and stay away from those dark corners. Thank you. And let's get started.
On Christmas Eve in 1945, the Sodder family of Fayetteville, West Virginia, faced a tragedy that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. George Sodder, a hard-working Italian immigrant, his wife Jenny, and their 10 children were celebrating the holiday season when disaster struck. The Sodder family lived in a 2-story timber frame house just north of Fayetteville. They were a close-knit, middle-class family, but George was known for his outspoken criticism of the Italian dictator Benito Mussolini, which had caused tensions within their immigrant community. In the weeks leading up to Christmas, strange events began to unfold. A salesman threatened George, warning him that his house would burn down, and his children would be destroyed due to his anti-Mussolini comments. Additionally, a mysterious car was spotted near their home, with its occupants seemingly watching the Sodder children as they returned from school. On that fateful Christmas Eve, the family was together, with the older children helping to put the younger ones to bed. At 12:30 a.m., the telephone rang, waking Jenny. A woman's voice on the other end asked for someone Jenny didn't recognize, amidst the sound of laughter and clinking glasses in the background. Jenny dismissed it as a wrong number and returned to bed. Strangely, she found the lights on and the curtains open, which the children usually took care of when staying up late. Around 1 a.m., Jenny was awakened by a loud bang on the roof, followed by a rolling noise. She went back to sleep but was soon jolted awake again by the smell of smoke. The room George used as an office was on fire, and the family's frantic attempts to save their children trapped upstairs were in vain. George and his sons tried to rescue the children, but the flames and the absence of a ladder made it impossible. Desperate to get help, they ran to a neighbor's house to call the fire department. Unfortunately, the response was slow due to the wartime circumstances. The fire, which had begun on the roof, quickly engulfed the house, leaving it in ruins. When morning came, the family and firefighters expected to find the remains of the 5 missing children in the ashes. However, no bones were found, raising suspicions about what had truly happened that night. The official investigation concluded that the fire was accidental, caused by faulty wiring, and death certificates for the missing children were issued. The Sodders refused to accept this explanation. They began to uncover strange inconsistencies in the case. They discovered that their phone line had been cut before the fire and that a ladder that had mysteriously gone missing was found far from the house. They also received tips and sightings of their missing children from witnesses who claimed to have seen them after the fire. Doubt continued to plague the Sodder family, and they hired a private investigator to help them uncover the truth. They even dug up the site of their former home, where they found personal artifacts but no remains. Rumors and strange occurrences surrounded the case, including a photo of a man resembling one of their missing sons and a mysterious letter. Despite their relentless efforts, the Sodder family never found conclusive answers about the fate of their missing children. George Sodder passed away in 1969, but Jenny and her surviving children continued to seek the truth. Jenny tended a garden at the site of their former home, a memorial to the lost children, until her death in 1989. The mystery of the Sodder children's disappearance remains unsolved to this day, and their surviving family members have kept their story alive, in the hope that someday they will uncover the truth about what happened on that tragic Christmas Eve, in 1945. In the spring of 1973, the small town of Enfield, Illinois found itself thrust into the spotlight due to reports of a mysterious creature roaming its streets. The Enfield Monster, as it would come to be known, became a subject of fascination and fear, sparking a peculiar chapter in the town's history. It all began on a fateful evening when Henry McDaniel, a local resident, was startled by an unusual scratching sound at his front door. Curiosity led him outside into the night, armed with a flashlight and a gun. There, between two rose bushes, he confronted a creature that defied explanation. McDaniel described it as having 3 legs, a short body, 2 small arms, and 2 unnaturally large pink eyes that shined like flashlights. Standing at 4.5 feet tall, the creature's grayish hue gave it an eerie, otherworldly appearance, yet it seemed eerily humanoid. In a moment of courage or perhaps desperation, McDaniel fired 4 shots at the enigmatic being. One of his bullets struck it, prompting a hiss resembling that of a wildcat. The creature swiftly darted away, leaping with astonishing agility toward a nearby railway embankment, covering an astonishing 50 feet in just 3 jumps. Bewildered and shaken, McDaniel promptly alerted the authorities. The police arrived at the scene, discovering peculiar footprints near McDaniel's house. These tracks, with 6 toe pads, bore a resemblance to those of a dog but possessed an inexplicable aura of the bizarre. Strikingly, McDaniel's account of the encounter was deemed credible, as he appeared rational and sober during his description. News of this strange incident quickly spread, captivating the imagination of the town and beyond. The local community became both fascinated and terrified by the notion that an otherworldly creature might be lurking in their midst. McDaniel himself speculated that these creatures were not of this world, igniting further curiosity and speculation. As investigators probed deeper, they learned that a 10-year-old neighbor named Greg Garrett had allegedly encountered the same creature half an hour before McDaniel did. The boy initially claimed the creature had stepped on his feet, shredding his tennis shoes. However, he later admitted to concocting the story as a playful prank. 2 weeks later, McDaniel reported another sighting of the creature, this time near the railway tracks, displaying an oddly casual demeanor as it ambled along. A search party was hastily assembled, including a local radio station's news director. They ventured into the area and claimed to have spotted an ape-like creature in an abandoned building near McDaniel's residence. They even asserted having recorded the creature's eerie cries and fired a shot in its direction before it vanished into the night. Cryptozoologist Loren Coleman was brought in to investigate the case and the strange sound recording. However, the Enfield Monster saga took an unexpected turn when 5 young men from out of town, equipped with shotguns and rifles for protection, arrived in Enfield, inspired by the creature's notoriety. These men claimed to have seen the creature and were promptly arrested for hunting violations. The local sheriff dismissed their expedition as a mere exaggeration, attributing their actions to drunken antics rather than genuine monster hunting. As news of the Enfield Monster spread like wildfire, it appeared in newspapers throughout the state and even made its way onto the airwaves. The town was gripped by a mix of fear and excitement, with residents concerned that the increased attention would attract more curious individuals armed with firearms, potentially endangering their community. Various theories emerged to explain the creature's identity, with some suggesting it might be an escaped kangaroo from a nearby zoo, as its tail could be misconstrued as a 3rd leg. McDaniel vehemently denied this theory, citing his own experience with kangaroos during military service in Australia and highlighting the stark differences in appearance and footprints. A few days later, an anthropology student speculated that the creature might be a wild ape, as such sightings have been reported in the Mississippi area since 1941. However, the mystery remained unsolved. And in 1978, researchers from Western Illinois University conducted a thorough investigation and concluded that the Enfield Monster incident was a classic case of social contagion. They found that the initial reports were limited, with most subsequent accounts being exaggerated by media coverage and local gossip. The incident, it seemed, had been blown out of proportion, with various plausible explanations ranging from large animals to an overactive imagination. The Enfield Monster, a bizarre and fleeting phenomenon, had captured the imagination of a small town and the wider world, leaving behind a legacy of intrigue, speculation, and a study in the curious nature of collective behavior.
And here we are at number 1. And if you made it this far, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And hit that bell of darkness, so you will never miss any of my newly uploaded videos. Thank you. And let's continue with number 1.
In the quiet town of Nizhny Novgorod, nestled along the banks of the Volga River, lived a man whose name followed the Eastern Slavic naming conventions, Anatoly Moskvin. Born on September 1, 1966, in the city then known as Gorky within the Soviet Union, Anatoly grew up in a world that would eventually become tainted by his extraordinary and macabre actions. From a young age, Anatoly exhibited a peculiar fascination with cemeteries, embarking on eerie excursions through the final resting places of the town's departed souls. His childhood explorations were most pronounced at the Krasnaya Etna Cemetery, a place that would forever intertwine his destiny with the departed. An incident in Anatoly's youth played a pivotal role in shaping his dark obsession. He recounted the moment when he witnessed a funeral procession for an 11-year-old girl. Forced by adults to kiss the lifeless girl's forehead, this experience left an indelible mark on his psyche. It was as if the dead had beckoned him, and he could not resist their haunting allure. As Anatoly grew, he pursued a path of intellectualism and scholarship. Graduating from the philological faculty of Moscow State University, he became a renowned academic in the field of Celtic studies. His deep-rooted interests extended beyond linguistics and history, delving into the realms of cemeteries, burial rituals, death, and the occult. Anatoly's expertise was not confined to the classroom. He amassed a vast library of over 60,000 books and documents, a testament to his insatiable curiosity. His eccentricities did not go unnoticed, and while some considered him a genius, others regarded him as an oddity. In his personal life, Anatoly chose a reclusive existence, living with his parents and abstaining from alcohol and tobacco. He never pursued romantic relationships, remaining celibate throughout his life. However, in 2016, reports suggested he intended to marry a 25-year-old woman from his hometown, who attended his trial. Anatoly Moskvin's career led him to the role of a lecturer in Celtic studies at Nizhny Novgorod Linguistic University. He had previously worked at the Institute of Foreign Languages, showcasing his linguistic prowess by fluently speaking 13 languages. His academic work earned him recognition in scholarly circles, and he authored numerous books, papers, and translations. Among his unusual interests, Anatoly established himself as a necropolist, an expert on the cemeteries of Nizhny Novgorod Oblast. In 2005, he embarked on an ambitious project to document the deceased in over 700 cemeteries across 40 regions. Remarkably, he traversed the region on foot, covering up to 30 kilometers per day. He spent nights in haystacks, abandoned farms, or even within the very cemeteries he was studying, often questioned by police but never detained. His extensive work remained unpublished but garnered admiration for its uniqueness and value. However, in 2011, the world would learn of the darkest chapter in Anatoly's life. Police arrested him while investigating a series of grave desecrations in and around Nizhny Novgorod. To their horror, investigators discovered the mummified bodies of 26 girls and women, aged between 3 and 29, within Anatoly's apartment and garage. Anatoly had committed unspeakable acts. He had exhumed these bodies from local cemeteries, mummified them himself, and arranged them throughout his home. Astonishingly, his parents, who shared the apartment, believed these mummies to be nothing more than large dolls. A psychiatric evaluation unveiled the grim truth: Anatoly Moskvin suffered from paranoid schizophrenia. He was deemed unfit to stand trial and sentenced to court-ordered psychiatric evaluation. Since then, he has remained in a psychiatric hospital. Vladimir Stravinskas, head of the investigative committee of Russia for the Nizhny Novgorod region, described the case as exceptional and unparalleled in modern forensics. The motive behind Anatoly's macabre actions was equally disturbing. He claimed a deep sympathy for the deceased children, believing they could be resurrected through science or black magic. He drew inspiration from ancient Druids and Siberian practices, sleeping on graves to communicate with spirits. As he grew older, he sought to make the children's spirits feel welcome in his home, ultimately leading him down a path of horrifying desecration. Anatoly's life and actions remain an enigma, a testament to the complex interplay of genius, eccentricity, and the darkest depths of the human mind. In the heart of a quaint Russian town, his story serves as a chilling reminder of the unfathomable mysteries that can lurk behind the most unassuming facades.
Well, there you have it, my friends. And if you want to hear more of these stories, comment down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And hit that bell of darkness, so you will never miss any of my newly uploaded videos. Thank you.